Today's class is Morning Fitness, Core Training for Strength and Balance. And my name is Stacy, and I am your guide today. I come from the Keystone State, Pennsylvania. I have a master's degree in counseling psychology, and I've been teaching fitness since the mid-1980s. I was originally certified when certification for instructors was brand new. It was a very exciting time to be in fitness, and I have loved it ever since. I do really enjoy connecting with other adults who are as interested as I am in maintaining their independence and staying strong, fit, and healthy as we go into our senior years. Get Set Up is a platform that helps you learn useful things from people just like yourself so that you can remain independent. So we do learn from one another. And so ideally, you will put your cameras on this morning so we can see you and we can be accountable to one another for our exercise and participation today.
Hey.
Remember that you can always request a recording after class. Email help@getsetup.io. And if you are joining by our website on the live stream, we welcome you. We're so glad you're here. The best way to participate is to join us, and please do register for a class. That way you'll get the notes afterwards as well, which is always really nice. And finally, Get Set Up is not paid to promote any specific products or services that you might see me talk about or demonstrate during my class. Please check with your doctor. It is always recommended that before beginning any new exercise program, that you have this conversation with your doctor about what you're going to be doing. And this is especially important if you have any known health conditions or take any medications. And if your doctor has given you any recommendations or limitations regarding exercise intensity, that's how hard you're working, how quickly your heart rate rises, how fast you're breathing, and how much you feel like you're exerting yourself during the program. Or if he has recommended that you limit your range of motion, that's how much you're moving your shoulders or your hips, your knees, or your back. Please follow your doctor's recommendations, not anything I discuss or demonstrate during my classes. All right. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and spotlight myself. Wait, first I'm going to mute everyone so we don't have background noise and we're not distracted. Now I'm going to spotlight so that I'll be right here for you all. All right, good. No pop-up. Looks like we did it right, Sharon. Thank you so much. I recommend that you get some water before we get started, and this class will be conducted in the seating position. So I recommend that you have a chair handy for this class. We will be seated. Let's see if I can adjust this just a little bit. So hopefully you can see my arms and legs, but I won't be too far away.
The joys of travel are wherever your journey takes you. Peaceful parks,
a little bit. Move back.
Great cities,
Just adjust this
across the sea, or just across town. Even when we can't travel physically, we can venture out in spirit. Travel is a mindset.
All right. So here we are seated
Travelers
in our chair.
follow their
We're going to start
dreams.
with some posture
And
corrections.
Generally
So I want
take
to make
me
sure that
to
you
Europe.
are sitting about midway from the back of the chair to the front edge of the chair. Ideally, you are on a hard back chair that does not have arms so that you're free to move your arms around. I don't want anybody banging their elbows. That can be mighty painful. But if your chair has arms today, that's okay. We're going to work around it. Just be aware so that you don't bump yourself. Your feet are going to be flat on the floor, toes facing forward. Your knees are bent at 90 degrees. Your hips heading forward, knees heading forward as well. So your knees are literally directly over your feet. That keeps your knees safe in this position. Always making sure that when they are bent, Your knees are aiming for the second and third toe of your foot, always right over top. Your torso is sitting nice and tall with your shoulders pressed down and back. Think about feeling space between your ears and your shoulders. And your diaphragm is lifted, and you can actually feel some space between your lower ribs and your hip bones. If you're feeling that space, that means that your core is engaged, and that's what we want. Make sure that you are breathing through the exercises. Find your normal rate and rhythm of your breath. Be very careful that you don't hold your breath during the exercises. So let's begin with an inhale up, stretching up overhead nice and tall. Your eyes gaze up toward the ceiling and release. One more time. Inhale, reach up, and release. On this inhale, I want you to lift up and hold. Lift your gaze to the ceiling, not compressing the back of the neck, but just lift your chin ever so slightly. And as you release, take your chin down to your chest. And just hold right here, feeling that stretch up through the back of the head and neck. Lengthening the spine in the upper back. And return to the normal, normal head position. And let's go to the right and the left. Chin aiming to be directly over the shoulder, looking to the side, and your torso remains facing forward. Feeling that stretch along the side of the neck, face forward, and let's go to the other side, your left. And again to the right. Resting your hands on your thighs. Feel that stretch in your neck, forward and over to the left. And back to the front, ear to the shoulder with a head tilt, feeling that stretch along this side between the ear and the shoulder, feeling it longer, even more intense than in our first spiral stretch. And head back up, right and down to the other side. Sitting up nice and tall, find your breath. And head back up vertical one more time to the right and left. Make sure you're breathing through this stretch. And back up and down to the other side. And head back up vertical. I want you to lean over just slightly so you can rest your forearms right above your knees, like I'm doing right here. And then I'm going to have you just take one arm and allow it to dangle down by your ankles. Feel that release through your shoulder. And we're going to make some very small circles. Allow the whole arm to move in the socket, but pretend that you have a pen in your hand and you're drawing little circles on the floor. First the size of a quarter, and now the size of an orange. Take it up to the size of a basketball, and we're going in the same direction. Whichever circle direction you began with, continue that same way. Size of a basketball, and now the size of a beach ball. Take this at your own pace. And in this large size of a beach ball, we're going to reverse direction, starting large in the opposite direction.
It's more than online classes. It's live
and
learning
gradually
for older
bringing
adults.
it
You're
in
asking
smaller
questions.
down to the size of a
Engaging
basketball.
directly with your guide. And right now,
Make
classes
sure that
are free.
it's dangling, no weight, allowing gravity to do its work here. The size of an orange. And then really tiny in the size of a quarter. And release. Bring that hand up to the crossover above the knees, and let's take the other arm down, dangling. Let gravity do its job as it relaxes through the shoulder. And let's start pretending we have a pen in our hand and we are drawing really little circles on the floor, starting with the size of a quarter. Choose a direction for your circles. I'm starting on this side. I think I'm going clockwise. And on the other side, I was going counterclockwise first. So my circles were going out and away from my body. But you do whatever works for you, whatever's comfortable. And you know that has to do with whether you're right or left-handed. So making those circles slightly larger, the size of an orange. And gradually going up in size. We're at the size of a basketball. And even larger to the size of a beach ball. And once we do 5 at the size of a beach ball, we're going to reverse directions. So if you were going clockwise like me, I'm now going to go counterclockwise or anti-clockwise, I believe they say in some areas. And gradually getting smaller and smaller. Until we are back down to the size of a quarter. And we'll finish with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax back into this position where you are hinged forward from the knees and both forearms are supporting your torso in this position. And take the first arm that you worked, it's probably your right arm if you're right-handed, and reach all the way down toward your ankle, and then up and reach back. Allow your torso to twist just slightly. Feel that stretch through the upper back and along the sides between your armpit and your hips. And release. Back to the supported position, forearms on the thighs, and take your other arm. Allow it to go down, reaching for the ankle, and then up, twisting behind, and look. If you're able to comfortably follow your hand with your eyes, and you're reaching for the ceiling right here, and feeling that twist through your back. And release. We're going to go one more time each side because this twist feels so good this morning. Reach down, up, and back. And in this position, make sure your hips are firmly planted in that chair. You want the twist to be initiated above the hip bones. And release. One more time on the other side. Reach down, up, and stretch. Allow your gaze to go up toward this hand. And release. Back so you are right here supporting your body. And I want you to replace your forearms with your hands just above your knee and round your back up into the upright position. And in this spot right now, I want you to pull your belly button into your spine and allow your back to curve just slightly. I have my hands right here on my knees and I am curving my back. I am not hunching my shoulders or tucking my head and neck, but just focusing on my low and mid back as I do this nice curve. And then imagining that a string is going right through my belly button to my spine and it's pulling my back up into the upright position, nice and tall, not arched, just back into the neutral spine position. And one more time, I'm going to press that belly button into the spine, push, 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 Allow that mid and lower back to round. My hands are just over the top of my knees right here. And then imagine that string is going to reach through my belly button, grab onto my spine and pulling it forward as I sit back in an upright position and lower my shoulders, lengthen my neck, and I'm sitting right here in neutral spine. Inhale, reach up overhead, hold right here and take the right up and then the left. Reach and the right reach, long, straight up overhead, not to the side, reaching right and left. Reach, reach, nice and tall, reach long, right here and back and down. Using your hands for support, we're going to do our forward bows, which looks like this. With a flat back, I go forward and back upright. Now, this exercise is called Good Mornings, and all we're doing is activating the muscles that keep our spine upright. It's important that we work these muscles. We want to counteract poor posture and anything that we've been doing to our backs during our lives that has caused us some pain or to have the tendency to slump or slouch in our chairs. So first of all, find your good posture, sitting upright. Use your hands for support. This is level 1 right here as we bend forward, hinging from the hips with a flat back and return to the seated position. Level 2 releases the hands from the hips and bow forward and come back up. Level 3 places your hands on your shoulders as you hinge forward with a flat back and return to the seated position. Let's take 8, whichever position is comfortable for you this morning. Our forward and return are at the same pace. Think about 1, 2, lift, 1, 2, forward, 1, 2, lift, 1, 2, forward, 1, 2, lift, 1, 2, forward, 1, 2, lift. So it's a smooth and controlled movement, both forward and up. One more. Here we go. Forward and up. Great. Those exercises, again, if I didn't mention it, they're called Good Mornings. They're often done in the gym with a weight on your shoulders, and they're typically done standing. But look at us. We can do them from our chair and get the same benefit through the muscles of our spine, and we are supporting our back, and we are doing it safely. The next exercise is a deadlift, and we're going to do a seated deadlift without weights. We start in a low position, hinging forward from the hips. Tailbone reaches toward the back of the chair, and you bring yourselves upright and return to the low position. Pull yourselves upright and return. Now, you can do this with support as well. Just remember that we are starting here opposite from the Good Mornings. We start in the low position. We press back into seated and return to the hinged forward position. So level 2 is with your hands down by your ankles and returning. Level 3 would be with weights, but we're not doing that level today. We're just thinking about activating the muscles, not giving them any additional stress and strain. And up and return. Up and return. 2 more. Pull up and return. Pull up and return. And use your hands now to press back up into a seated position. And I'm going to do some exercises demonstrating the use of a fitness ball or a bender ball. And it's right here. And if you don't have one, that's okay. Do these exercises without. You can also make yourselves your own ball by stuffing a bunch of socks together in one big sock or wrapping it up in a bandana or a hanky. Or another alternative would be to use a little stuffed animal. This is my dog's teddy bear, but I could use this just the same. So really what I'm going to be doing is an exercise like this. I'm going to take it down and return and hold on, down, return and hold on. So if you don't have a ball, no worries. There's other things you can use, or just use your hands and pretend that you have a ball in front of you. But it's kind of fun to have this. And eventually we will also challenge ourselves with a little bit of a toss and catch, which is good for eye-hand coordination. So we're going to start with the ball out in front of us, and we are going to swing down and return, swing down and return. I'm alternating arms as I do this, bringing the ball down toward my hip and back up to shoulder height with my arms extended. So again, if you don't have a ball or something to hold on to, no worries. You can do the same thing without anything in your hands. Right here. Bring it in right here. Two more, right and left. Last set, right and left. Great. Now we're going to do a diagonal move. So I want to reach up to the corner and cross body down to the other side. Reach up in the corner, cross down inside. I'm using my supporting hand on my arm to give myself a little bit of extra support. Reaching up in the corner, cross body down and back. Reach up in the corner, go across my body and down, up to the corner and down, up to the corner and down. And let's switch hands and do that on the other side. So I'm using my hand right here for support, and I'm going to reach, cross over and down to the other side. Modify this by using a shorter arm. So maybe just don't extend your arm as far. Do it this way. But we want that diagonal motion. There's a slight torso twist involved as we reach up and back, up and back, up, down and across. Two more, up, down and across. Last one, up, down and across. Let's do a set with both arms. So we're going to reach up and down and across with both arms. Now we are challenging our core. So again, we're not using any arms for support. And you can make this movement as small as you need to. You could just do shoulder to hip if that's your comfort level today. Taking it a little bit larger if you want to do the full reach, challenging your core, keeping your hips firmly planted in this chair. And up and back. One more on this side and we're going to switch. Up and down. All right, let's take it to the other side. So remember, we can start here with like a shoulder to hip action. And we're activating those muscles with our twist. Very slight twist. Take it a little bit larger if you're comfortable there. I have a slight bend in my elbows to keep the movement small and close to my body. For a greater challenge, I'm going to reach and stretch. So it's all the way with an extension on up to the side and down low on the other side, crossing my body. Feel that twist. Diaphragm is lifted. Up and down. Up and down. One more. Excellent. All right, so if you were holding on to something, you can put it down. And we're going to take some twists now without a ball or anything in our hands.
The
Grab
joys
some
of
water
travel
if you
are
feel the
wherever
need.
your journey
You ought to
takes
be
you.
drinking 2 or 3
Peaceful
times
parks,
during my class, so every 10 or 15
great
minutes,
cities,
perhaps you grab your water.
across the sea, or just across town. Even when we can't travel physically, we can venture out
Let's
in
start
spirit.
with reaching to the side.
Travel
Make
is
sure
a
that you are
mindset.
firmly planted in the chair.
Travelers follow
Level
their
1,
dreams.
with your hands
And
on
mine
your knees,
generally
you're going
take
to
me
reach one
to
arm
Europe.
out to the side and return. Reach out and return. Reach out and return. Notice how my upper body is leaning to the side on this. So I am contracting the muscles on the side where I'm reaching, and I'm lengthening the muscles on the opposite side. I'm reaching. Same side each time. We're going to do 4 more. Out to the right and in. Out to the right and in. Reach side. Pull it in. Last one. And let's take it to the other side. Reaching and return. Reach out and return. I'm using this hand for support right here. This is level 1. Reach out and in. Torso is lifted. Make sure that you're breathing. Feels so good, doesn't it? To get up and move your body. 3 more. Hips firmly planted in the chair. Here's the last one. All right, let's try level 2. Level 2 is going to take both arms up. So as I reach to the side, I'm going to lift this elbow on the supporting, the arm that I was keeping on my leg. I call it my supporting side. I'm just going to lift that elbow and bring it back in. And we're going to the same side. So it's an elbow lift on one side and a reach on the other side. Out and in. Let's do 4 more right here. 4 and in. 3 and in. 2 more and in. Last one, other side, right here. So it's an elbow lift on one side and a reach out to the side with the other arm. And 4 more. And 3. 2 more. Last one. All right. We're going to take a twist and activate the oblique muscles that run along the side of our waist. So first, let's twist to the right. I have my elbows right here above my hips, and I'm just doing a gentle twist. Come back to center. Twist to the other side. Back to center. Right and center. Left and center. Right and center. Left and center. Right, back, left, front. Last time, right and front and left and front. Now let's take it to the right, but we're going to hold right here. And I want you to hold this position. If you're able to not hold on to anything and be activating those muscles, I want you to just reach out with your hands and wiggle your fingers, sitting nice and tall. Reach out and wiggle the fingers. And release. Let's twist around to the other side. Reach out to the side, wiggle your fingers. And return. Let's do some arm movements. Let's start with dead bug arms. So we start like a dead bug. Our arms are straight out in front of us. And we're going to just lift one arm up and then open side. So it's lift, back front, open side. And we're going to actually alternate sides. So starting with the right, up and down, open and front, left, up, front, and open. We are isolating our shoulders on this exercise. So a more modified version is to keep your arms and legs in, or your arms in closer to your body with a bent elbow. Okay, so left side and open. So more challenging is with a fully extended arm. And you're going to feel that in your shoulder. Lift up and down and open together. Lift and open. Lift, left side and open. Let's do one more, right and left. Lift and open. Lift and open. Let's do both arms together. Lift both, back in front and open side. Lift, forward, open side. Keep that diaphragm lifted. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed. Open side, lift, and open. 4 more. Up.
Welcome to Get Set Up.
Hi.
And
There are no
open.
wrong answers, only
Check
good
your
questions.
breathing.
I'm here to
Become
help you.
aware
Welcome
of the
to
rhythm
Get
and
Set
rate
Up.
that you're
It's more than
breathing.
online classes. It's live learning for older adults. And right now, classes are free.
And one more. Up and open. Excellent. We did a great job on those shoulders, but we're not done. Arms down by your side and let's lift and lower. Lift and lower. We're lifting both arms on a lateral side raise. We do this exercise on Wednesdays with weights, but today we are doing this just to concentrate on the muscles that we're using. So here we are using our mid-deltoid muscle. So that's the middle muscle in your shoulders. With a lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower. Now let's lift to the front, both arms coming up to the front. We're now using the front deltoid. The deltoid, or the shoulder muscle, as you know, has 3 separate heads. And it's important that we work all 3. The middle one is the largest, and that's the one we probably use the most. So you feel this differently in your shoulder, right? If you're doing it correctly, you're going to feel it differently. 2 more. Forward. Right here. So we work the side or the mid, we work the mid of the deltoid, we work the front of the deltoid, and I know you're asking me, but Stacy, how do we work the rear deltoid? Well, we work that one by moving toward the rear. So we're going to just move our arms just very slightly to the back. So if you're sitting forward in your chair and you don't have arms in your chair, you should be able to move those arms toward the back. Now, here's what happens, and this muscle is used very seldom because when you go to do this, what happens is your shoulders take over in the back and they want to pull those shoulder blades together toward the spine. So I want you to focus on not doing that and just allowing the shoulder muscle that's on the right here, the top, or some people call these the caps, the shoulder caps. Just use the back of that muscle, the deltoid muscle, to move these arms. And it's a straight arm movement. So feel that difference. So we've done the side or the middle deltoid, we've done the front deltoid, and we've done just a little bit to the back deltoid. And we got a little bit of an anatomy lesson along with it. So I hope you enjoyed that this morning. All right, let's do some pull-ups right here. So we're gonna just take our arms right down by our hips and pull up into our armpits. Pull up into the armpits. Make sure that you keep your shoulders relaxed during this and you're sitting up nice and tall in your torso. Lower ribs separated from your hips. Feel that space in there and know that your core is activated as you lift and return. Pull up and return. Lift and return. And we do these as well with weights on Wednesdays. Today we're just really focused on the muscles that we're using. So lift and return. Lift and return. Let's do 2 more right here. Lift and return, lift and return. Now I want you to just open your legs slightly. Maybe you can take your knees out over the corner of the chair just so you can get your hands right here in between your legs and at the front of the chair. And this time when you pull up, I want you to keep your hands together and pull up under your chin. So sitting up nice and tall, lift and lower. Lift and lower. Pull up, lift and lower. Pull up and down, lift and lower. Pull up, release, lift and lower. Here's the last one. Up and return. Arms out in front. You can return your legs to their normal neutral position, facing forward. Arms are out in front like you're in a rowboat, and pull one arm back and return, and the other arm back and return. Now on this exercise, you are sliding your shoulder blades in the back toward your spine. So you're feeling this in the back and return. Pull your elbow back and return. Keeping your arms shoulder height. Pull back and return. Feel that sliding of your shoulder blade in toward your spine. We are counteracting those round shoulders that occur as we are reading, looking at our phones, working at a desk, and even carrying a purse and driving. All of those normal things that we do pull our shoulders forward and can cause a lifetime of round shoulderedness if we don't really focus on counteracting that by activating the muscles that pull those shoulders back. Pull back. Here's the last one. Whew, and return. All right, we need to do some exercises for our hips. So we're going to start first of all with just a leg extension and return. So starting with the right side, I want you to just extend your leg, lifting from the floor if you're able. Level 1 keeps the foot on the floor and just moves the heel out from being directly under the knee. Extend out and in. Level 2 lifts the foot just slightly off the floor if you're comfortable there. And level 3 is going to extend the leg with a fully extended knee if you're able to do that. Hold on to the seat of the chair for support. And let's take 8 and 7 at your own pace, and 6, 5, and 4. Be aware of your breathing. 3, 2, and last one right here, and release. Other leg for 8. Extend and bend. Out and in. And 4 more. Make sure you're aware of your breathing. That was 3. 2 more. Last one. Let's do some heel lifts right here, right and left. Just lifting the heel up off the floor. It's almost like a march, but we're not going to lift the foot off the floor just yet. This is level 1. Heel up and down, heel up and down, heel up and down. 2 more on the right and the left. And the last one, right and left. Now, can we do this at level 2 and just release the foot on the floor? And if we can you keep both your hips down, firmly planted in the chair, and keep your torso upright and not moving? So that really engages the core. Lifting right and left. Just off the floor. Just release the foot from the floor if you're able to do that. Just releasing. And hold on to the seat of the chair if you need that for support. It may help keep your torso stationary. Lifting, lifting, lifting. And level 3 is going to be a larger leg lift, knee lift,
online classes.
Right here.
It's live
Lift,
learning for older adults.
lift.
You're asking
You feel
questions,
that?
I think I made
In
a
your hip
mistake.
flexors
engaging
right
directly
here.
with your guide. And right now,
Lifting,
classes are free.
Lifting. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. So now we're going to take a leg extension, a knee lift, and cross your legs and uncross. And we're going to alternate legs, starting right and left. Hold on if you need to for support. Level 2 might be hands on the hips. You can release your hands if you feel like it, and keep the movement very low. And if you can't cross your legs, if you're not able to cross over in that position, just do the low level extend and heel lift and just stay right there with the heel lift. All right, so here's what it's going to look like. Leg extension, knee lift, crossover and back. Other leg, extend, knee, crossover, return. Extend, knee, cross and return. Extend, knee, cross and return. We want to do 8 sets, and this is just the 3rd set. Extend, knee, crossover and return. Here's the 4th set, knee, crossover and return. Be aware of your breathing. Sometimes during these exercises, you need to take an extra deep breath, and that's okay. If you feel the need to do that, give in to what your body is telling you to do and take that deep breath. I just had one, that's why it reminded me to tell you that that's okay when that happens. And we're going to do 2 more sets. Extend, lift the knee, crossover and back. Extend, lift the knee, crossover and back. Here's the last set. Extend, lift the knee, crossover and back. Extend, lift the knee, crossover and back. Sit up nice and tall. We're going to do an open and close. Open and close. Actually, the close is just the neutral position with your knees straight out from your hips. And open is just to the corner of the chair, not very far. And I want you, if possible, to let your foot move along the top of the floor. You don't have to lift very far. And we're keeping the knee bent. Here, this is level 1 with the bent knee, but we are working on our hips, outer and inner thighs, as we are exploring our range of motion and our strength through our hips. Open and close. Other side, open and close, one at a time. Sitting tall, use the chair if you need to. Hold on for support. If not, you're able to sit up nice and tall. Keep your torso stationary and strong. Be aware of your breathing. Open and close. Open and close. 4 more right here. Open and close. 3, 2, and the last one is right here. Level 2, we're going to extend the leg just out a little bit. My knee is still slightly bent. I'm going to hold on, and I'm just going to open and close ever so slightly. Out and in. Out and in. 4 more. Open and in. And 3. And 2. And here's the last one. And the other leg, just extended slightly, foot up off the floor. It's not a full leg lift. That's going to be level 3. And you're free to stay at whatever level you are most comfortable with. You don't have to do level 2 or level 3. If you want to stay at level 1 today, do what your body is telling you to do. And 4 more. And 3. 2 more. Last one. And let's take level 3 if you're with me on this challenge. Otherwise, stay at level 1 or 2. Level 3 is a fully extended knee, and we're going to just open slightly to the side. I'm keeping my toes pointed upward as I open side and return to the front. Open side and front. 4 more. Sitting tall, use the seat of the chair for support if you need to. 2 more. Last one, and release. Okay, let's take the left leg fully extended if you're up for a challenge, and open and return to the side and front. Toes are up and open and forward, working the inner and outer thighs and the hip, feeling that range of motion. Stay within your comfort zone right here. This is not a time to press outside the comfort zone. And 2 more, open and close. And here's the last one. Great job. I want you to take your legs apart just slightly. Keep the knees over the corner of the chair if you're able. Supporting your hands right here just above the knee. Hinge forward from the hips, giving yourselves a bit of an inner thigh stretch. And as I hinge forward, I moved my hands to my forearms. So I'm resting here on my forearms. My back is flat. My knees are over my toes in this position. And I am feeling this hip stretch right here, inner thighs and hips as I hinge forward and support my back while I am doing so. Take the hands right here just above the knees, press yourselves back up into the seated position. And now I want you to take your legs straight out in front of you. Come to the edge of the chair, holding on to the chair with the legs extended. Hinge forward. Hinge forward just slightly until you're going to feel that stretch up through your hamstrings, up through the back of the knees, and in through the top of your calf muscles. My knees are slightly bent. I don't want hyperextended knees, which might happen if I fully extend them and then press my weight forward. So I'm just doing this to feel that stretch up the back of my legs, in through my hamstrings, my lower gluteals. I feel it there as well. And breathe into your stretch. And use your hands above your knees to press back up into the seated position. Back up into your chair just slightly. And we're going to do the stretch and strengthening for our posture by going through the alphabet exercise that I do with the letters Y, W, T, L. And we're going to make those letters with our arms. And the goal is, as we make those letters, to press our arms behind the midline of the body, which activates those muscles in our spine, pulls our shoulder blades together, sliding them in toward the spine. So lift up, making the letter Y with your arms right here. And now this is a comfortable Y. My arms are slightly forward, but what I want to do is press my arms back behind my ears. So in doing so, I'm now activating the muscles in my spine, and I'm feeling this muscle activation and a stretch across my chest. This is Y. Bend your elbows down and back and form the letter W. And again, my palms are facing forward, but the back of my hands is pressing toward the wall, pressing back behind the midline of my body. And I feel my shoulder blades in the back really pulling in toward my spine. And I hope you do too. Shoulders down and back, be aware of your breathing. Letter T, arms extended and pressing back together. Feel that pulling those shoulder blades together in the back. And the letter L brings my elbows into my waist.
Hi. There are no wrong answers, only good
You can
questions.
see my forearms now
Welcome
are pressing
to Get Set Up.
behind the
It's more
midline
than
of the
online
body.
classes. It's live learning
Such a
for
good
older
stretch
adults.
across the
You're asking
front
questions, engaging
pulling
directly with
the
your guide. It's a safe place
muscles
to
of the
explore,
spine
make
together,
mistakes,
pulling
and
those
have
shoulder
fun.
blades in
Roseanne,
together.
I have a question.
All from the comfort
Feeling
of your
that
home,
activation
with
all
hundreds of
along the
topics
length
to
of my
choose from.
spine.
And right
Relax
now,
my head and
classes
neck,
are
just
free.
testing it out there. Make
Just
sure
go
you
to
have some movement. You're not
getsetup.org/free.
clenching your muscles. And release. Let's start again with the Y. Right here. Press toward the back, behind the midline of the body. Elbows down and back, forming the letter W. Arms extended in the letter T, pressing them back behind the midline of the body and into the L. Elbows into the body, forearms are going out to the side, thumbs pointed back toward the wall, right? So your palms are up like someone can give you a cup of sugar. And release. Give yourselves a big hug. One arm is over top of the other, elbows are forward, and you're reaching wherever you can. Upper arm, shoulders, around the back if you're able. We need to give those muscles a stretch. We just worked them quite a bit. Release and do it again, this time crossing the other arm over the top. Elbows forward, hold on to wherever you can. Sitting up nice and tall. Chin is lifted, relax your neck. Be aware of your breathing and release. Let's inhale up. Stay with me while we do some meditation, positive affirmations, and I share my closing slides. One more time, inhale up. Oh, it feels so good to have worked my body this morning. I hope you feel the same way. Let me grab my meditation cards. Grab some water if you need to.
There. Welcome to Get Set Up.
Hi.
Since
There
we're
are no wrong
seated,
answers, only good questions.
if you're comfortable, you can
Welcome
close
to
your
Get Set
eyes
Up. It's
as
more
you
than
become
online
aware
classes.
of your breath.
It's
If
live
you don't
learning
want to
for
close
older
your
adults.
eyes,
You're asking
find a
questions,
spot in
engaging
front of you.
directly
Maybe
with your
there's a
guide.
I think I made a
candle or a
mistake.
It's a safe
clock or a
place to
spot on the
explore,
floor
make
that you
mistakes,
can
and have
gaze
fun.
at
All
without your knowledge. Continues to breathe and activate your lungs and all the muscles that are needed to keep your breathing going. And that breath, that beautiful breath, it's required in every cell of your body, as we need that good oxygen for cell turnover and renewal and for growth. And our brain needs it to stay sharp and focused. So everything that we do when we're working on our core also improves our lung capacity, and those muscles of our diaphragm stay supported all during these exercises. So I want you to think about that as you are aware of the beauty of your breath today, and think to yourself with me, I am in harmony with my body and with all of the people in my home, my place of work or community, and my surroundings. The state of my body today is simply a reflection of the state of my mind. I am what I tell myself I am. And today I'm telling myself that I am strong. I am centered. I am in balance. My body is good enough. I am happy with it. I work out because I love it. And I need my body to get myself through my life's journey. I am willing and open to growth and change. I am open to learning new things. I am open to strengthening my body. I am open. Thank you for joining me. Stay with me. I have to share my closing slides and tell you a little bit more about how to request a recording of the session. Thank you so much again for joining me. The best way that you can thank myself and all of the guides here on Get Set Up is by sharing your experience on social media so that other people might join and receive the benefit of our classes. You can share your experience and use the hashtag #GetSetUp, or you can use @GetSetUp, or email Liz @GetSetUp if you don't use social media. So again, you can email some pictures or your thoughts about classes to liz@getsetup.io. And some related classes that'll get you moving include the Ageless Grace class, which is a wonderful class. You get to sort of dance in your chair and experience lots of different movements while seated. And look for the line dancing classes where you can learn some simple and easy dance steps that'll give you a bit of a cardio workout. My next class is next week. I start on Monday with this same class, the core training. And on Tuesday, we do easy, gentle cardio. On Wednesday, we do seated strength training. And on Thursday, we do combo training, which is a little bit of everything and loads of fun. Be on the lookout for the email that you'll receive from Get Set Up. It will contain some key takeaways from today's class, and there will be some other classes highlighted that you might be interested in, and a link that will take you to a page that looks like this, where you can share your feedback about today's class and about the instructor. The Get Set Up community is really anxious to grow and spread, and we can do that if you spread the word about your experiences learning with Get Set Up. And maybe you would like to host an interest group. We would love to have you join us. Just let us know. Suggest a class that you would like to see on Get Set Up. And we do partner with assisted care, senior living, government, and other community organizations. And again, you can request a recording of today's session by emailing help@getsetup.io. And if you had any difficulty launching the class, ran into any technical issues, you can include that when you email help@getsetup. They do want to know about it because we are working through all sorts of technical things. And you may have noticed that we have a new website. And if you need to learn more about it, look for Marv's class, Tips and Tricks to Navigating Get Set Up's New Look. And thank you again for joining me today. Bye and have a great day.